You're watching PowerNation. Today on Carcass, we head out to a high-performance driving event that teaches anyone who's interested about going fast on a track.
Then we start our own race car project. We hit the track and dyno to get some baseline numbers to see where we start. All right guys, welcome to the brand new season of Carcass. I am in this bone stock Mazda Miata, and frankly a car that I don't really fit into all that well, but regardless of that, Jeremy and I are gonna take this thing from its bone stock form and turn it into an absolute track weapon.
And this is our little Honda Civic rally car that we built last season. Now this is kind of a real legitimate race car. It's fully caged. We've got some strut tower braces in here. We added a really nice set of coilover shocks. And at the time we put on some pretty beefy off-road tires. But we kind of set the car up a little bit differently. We lowered the stance to come out here and we put on a decent set of street tires.
So we're here at NCM Motorsports Park at an event put on by Auto Interest and Summit Racing. And what we're gonna do is learn how to be on a track safely and also learn how to drive.
But it really doesn't matter if you bring something as healthy as our little Honda Civic here, which is a true race car, or if you bring a car like our Mazda Miata that pretty much just came right off of the street. If you don't know how to drive either one of these cars, it's really not going to do you any good. So Jimmy, let's go learn how to drive.
Let's do it.
Auto Interest is a high-performance driving school program. Our main goal really was to get more people on track that had any kind of car that they wanted to do it with. Just decided that, okay, we should really formalize more of the learning and the curriculum, really be more purposeful about how we credential instructors, and once you've been through our program, you could go to nearly any high-performance driving program and use those skills. They're pretty universally applicable, and it kind of opens up a whole new world of something really cool to do with your car.
But before you can take some laps on the track, your car will have to go through tech inspection, but you don't have to worry about having a fully built race car. They have newcomers covered as well.
For a first timer, it's just a car in good mechanical condition, so fresh fluids, decent set of brake pads, decent set of tires. It doesn't have to be some crazy build. So as long as it's in overall sound mechanical shape as a first timer, you're not going to be going fast enough that you need a whole bunch of upgrades your very first time.
After tech, it's into the classroom for a little track driving 101.
So we run basically 3 categories of people. We run a novice, broken into novice solo, which means you can go out on track by yourself without an instructor, and then we run a first timer, and that goes along with our acclimation program, where we just want you to learn about, the car and the track and the etiquette. From there, we'll teach everybody how to do the basics. But when you move up, we'll move you to intermediate. The intermediate guys get a little less attention, that's one-on-one, but we're always available to give that attention. If you want help on something, if you're sticking on a corner or something's wrong, you just can't quite get that flow, we'll work with you. We'll jump in, we'll look at your data, we'll help you get faster. Because our real goal is to get you in the advanced class. Those guys, might be some ex-racers, maybe guys that have done HPDE for a bunch of years. That's your real goal, is to get to the advanced class. So my goal really is to make sure everybody's safe, make sure everybody has a good day, make sure the cars are safe, and then help everybody go as fast as they can.
Grassroots programs like this aren't possible without great partners.
Summit Racing has been with us for several years now. They've been a huge supporter of the program. They've just been a great partner, helping to market different events through channels they have. We really like that they connect directly in with our driving rewards program to reward drivers that drive well and drive cleanly, that are safe. And it's just been a huge boon to the program, really, to help get a deeper engagement and that extra support behind it.
All right, so we're in the car with Chief Instructor Rick Hoback. He's gonna teach us a few things, how to be safe on the track, most importantly, and then also if he can give us any tips to try to get around the track faster. We also need some help in that department too, so let's see what we got.
So my car's already warmed up, but you typically wanna let your car warm up a little bit. Get the brakes nice and warm, get the tires nice and warm. You just kinda come in here a little bit and just get everything up to temp. You don't wanna push too hard too early. So mentally, you want to prepare and you want to just kind of know your limits and what you're going to do. So this is where the course starts. This is turn 1, 2, and right here. So we care about this apex, but we don't care about what's after it. We don't care about this corner here. We want to come out and fade out, back on the gas, nice and smooth. This is kind of a diamond. What I do here is I kind of fade in, aim for the middle, turn sharp, let it rotate. Be patient, back on the gas. A little bit of rumble. Patience there is going to pay a lot of dividends. Cars really don't want to do multiple things at once. They don't want to accelerate and turn or brake and turn. If I tap the brake, like I'll do it here, and it'll want to tweak the rear end. So if I go for the brake, it doesn't really like that much, and it wants to rotate the rear around.
So you just want to kind of accelerate and decelerate and turn separately.
Very smooth. Your feet are really smooth. You don't want to jump on the gas. You don't want to jump on the brake. You know, you just want to squeeze things. Sometimes it seems like you're ripping it. You're not. You're just squeezing.
Yeah.
Some cars might carry a different line, a higher horsepower car. You know, it might go a little farther from the edge of the course to the apex when he comes out or when he comes in. Little Miatas tend to run real tight lines. You'll never master. There's no perfect lap ever. You can always do something a little better, a little better. So you don't need to bring your Corvette, your Porsche, your Mustang. You just need something simple that teaches you the basics, and you go fast. There's the checker flag. I don't know if you caught it out of the corner of your eye.
Well, thanks for having us, and I think we need to get on the track then, right?
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I can't really wait to get out there and see what we can do.
Up next, we hit the track to get some seat time and test out our new project.
Hey guys, welcome back to Carcass. Now we're up here at NCM Motorsports Park. We're with the Auto Interest Group. We just did our classroom time and we did a couple hot laps with Rick Hoback. Now it's time to hop in our cars.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the Honda and you take the Miata.
I'll take this one.
I'm out here with our Honda Civic rally car, and with a few suspension adjustments and new tires, I'm trying to apply some of Rick's advice and have some fun.
If you guys haven't noticed by now, I'm in a 2000 Mazda Miata. Now the reason we bought this car is, well, we had so much fun with our little Honda Rally Civic and our OBS truck, we thought, you know what? Why not build another race car? And why not build a race car that's extremely popular? Now, the difference between this car and our other two builds, like the Honda and the truck, this is gonna be a Spec Miata. And what that entails is, when you go into a Spec class, as it be a Miata or something else, it comes down to more or less the driver. Everybody's got the same resources, and you're limited to what you can do as far as upgrades go. So you can only run specific tires. You can only run specific brakes. You're limited on engine upgrades and exhaust and stuff like that. So in a Spec class, it comes down to the person sitting in the driver's seat. So hence why we're here with the Auto Interest Group, and they're trying to teach us how to drive a little bit better. And once you're comfortable in your car, then you get faster. The more you understand your car, the faster you get. So, with our little Miata here, we got a bunch of upgrades that we want to do within the rules of the Spec Miata class. And sticking with everybody else in the group, we're gonna try to build ourselves a little race car and not spin out. This little Miata is an absolute blast to drive, especially out here on a racetrack in completely stock form. Yeah, it makes a couple noises like that. It's got tire rubbing. But the reality is, for the 4-cylinder 5-speed, this thing's like a rocket ship. This entire build we're going to be doing with Summit Racing. They're really going to help us out here to put this car together, because we have to follow specific rules set in the Spec class. Everything that we can get for this car, we can get from Summit Racing. So we are going to put this little Spec Miata together and have a whole bunch of fun with it.
We had a ton of fun out here today at NCM Motorsports Park with the Auto Interest Group. We learned a lot, had some ride-alongs, and I think we can be pretty safe on a track.
Yeah, and I got a really good baseline on how the Miata acts out there on the racetrack, but now it's time to take it back to the shop and turn this thing into a true race car.
Yep, I got the Honda loaded up. I got to strap it down still, but I'll meet you there.
Yeah, I get to drive this one back.
Yeah.
We now know how she handles on the track, but how many horses does she pack?
Holy moly!
Wow.
We're all wrong.
Dang.
Hey guys, welcome back to Carcass. Well, we didn't waste any time. We've got our little Mazda Miata down here in engine power and it's strapped down to the chassis dyno. We also ran it around at NCM for a little bit, but right now we want to know how much horsepower this little 4-cylinder is going to make.
And in the Spec Miata class, there's not a whole lot we can do in terms of engine mods, so we just wanted to get a baseline to compare it to once we get everything done.
So from here, we'll get a couple polls, figure out some horsepower. We've got some things we're going to do here coming up. Then we're going to bring it right back and check to see if we gained any, really. So it's
Did you bring the key to wind it up first? Because I want to make full power with this thing.
Yeah. So it came with 2 sets of keys, so we used both of them, wound them up. So.
Are these the 4 cylinders that we're missing out of your Honda? I know that only had 4.
You've got 2 cars here totaling 8 cylinders at this point.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're looking to make half horsepower now and half horsepower later, so that's kind of why we got 4
In all
and 4.
seriousness, these are pretty cool. These are a lot of fun for the money. They really are. And you have a Spec Miata class, obviously, that's going to be pretty fun to run in because it sounds like everything's pretty equal for what you can do to it and what you have to do to race.
Yep, it really comes down to the driver and like a great way to increase your skills. So
What's it going to make?
120.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I'm going Honda.
Okay, 1 Honda. I'm going to go 110.
112. I'll split the
You're just
difference.
going to be right in the middle there?
I think we're all
difference,
pretty
see what
close. All right.
All right.
Heck
Light
yeah.
this thing. It runs actually very nice. I know the first time I've ever been in a chassis dyno session with a Miata.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
And I'll-
Green button, go!
Oh, wow. All right.
Okay, so I said 100.
What was your guess?
120.
Dang, 121.
No way.
Is that what it came up at?
Yeah.
121,
Dude, I was 20 horse off.
119 pound-feet. I was way off too. Now we know, right? Now you can time that pole with a sundial.
Yeah, 99 miles an hour.
You can just,
That's almost
tack's barely
that's
creeping.
almost 100 miles an hour. You had a wheel speed of 99.59.
dude, this thing was an animal on the track. It did like 80 down the front.
The pull is nice and smooth. There's
Yeah.
no sign of anything going goofy. Back it up, make
Okay,
another
we'll do
one.
it again.
So
Break
one's
off.
a fluke.
First gear. Here we go.
Ah, yes, he's getting a little aggressive right now.
Now I'm comfortable. Now I can go a little faster. Stab it.
Oh my God. That'll probably print the same number.
Yeah.
I revved it the exact same, so.
Yep.
Yep. Dead on.
121 horse, and this is within 1 pound-feet on torque. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking it's making 121 horsepower then.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
That's good.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
consistent too.
What was your Honda first initial polls?
89.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
just crushing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
These are really neat little cars. You know, to be honest, they have a short wheelbase, they handle well, decent power to weight ratio is pretty decent in these things.
Yeah, it was a blast to drive up at NCM. And again, we got to stick with that Spec Miata stuff, so we can only do certain things to it. We're going to take it back down, do those things right now. If you guys are cool, we're going to come right back after we're done.
Heck yeah.
We see what we gain for horsepower, because that's really all we can do.
Yeah, squeeze everything we can out of it.
No, I'm interested to see what it's going to make when you guys come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing just easy stuff to it.
Easy stuff. Cold air intake or filter
Yeah, you can
and
do
intake
some
stuff?
intake stuff. You can change the exhaust, and you can adjust, I believe, initial timing.
Okay, and you guys have a way of doing that.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure everything out.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some tricks to
Sure.
this, and these guys that have done this for a long time, they know everything. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
hey, you got your work cut out for you. So get her down and get her back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get her unstrapped, head down. We should be back a couple hours.
Couple hours.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
We had a few simple upgrades to get a boost in power.
That simple. All right, guys, well, we're back down in our shop with the little Miata here, and we've got some base horsepower numbers, and now it's time to squeeze just a little more out of this thing. And one thing to note, that in the Spec Miata rules, there are a couple different years you can run and a couple different engine options. You can either have the 1.6 liter or the 1.8 liter, and we have the 1.8.
The caveat to all of this is if you do run the bigger engine, you have to run a restrictor plate. Now, regardless of engine size, it's really important to squeeze as much horsepower as you can just to give yourself the competitive edge. And so when we go back to the dyno, we won't run the restrictor plate just to get an apples-to-apples comparison on horsepower.
And per spec rules and the fact that we have the 1.8 liter, we can only do a couple things. So we're going to do a little bit of exhaust work. We're going to bump the timing up just a little bit, and we can switch out the air filter. So let's get this thing on the hoist, and we'll start on the exhaust.
Yep.
Get this little shoe box up here.
Our exhaust system is pretty simple here. There's only a few things we can do, one of them being replacing the muffler in the back. We got one from Summit Racing that we'll install in a little bit. Otherwise, we can replace this whole section here, the catalytic converter, and this other tiny little muffler here with a straight section of pipe. The only thing to note here is that if you still want to drive your car on the street, not a good idea to take the cat out. We're going to take it out, but this is a track-only car, so we don't have to worry about it.
Bee's nest.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right. Before we start fitting up our new pipe, we'll grind the ends and clean them up. All right, so the rules say that the maximum tube diameter you can use for this section is 2 1/4. We have all kinds of bits and pieces laying around the shop, so this piece should work. I will have to do some trimming, but one way or another, we're gonna get it in there. I've got this main pipe pretty well fitted. Something to note here is that on the back part of this exhaust, this tube is closer to 2 inches, so I have a little reducer here to put in it. I just gotta get Jeremy's help and I'll start tacking these pieces in. With our exhaust tacked in, we'll take it out and head over to the welding table where we'll clean up the edges and finish welding it up.
All right, with Jimmy welding up the exhaust, now we can replace the stock muffler with this performance one that we got from Summit Racing. Pretty simple to install. We're just gonna slide the old one out, slide the new one in. We'll spray our exhaust hangers down with a little Berryman Products Easy Doz-It to help our muffler slide right out. There it goes. This one just literally slides right into place. Man, that simple. Now we can install our new exhaust and tighten it down.
All right, that wraps up the exhaust. Now we'll head to the front and adjust the timing.
So the only way to adjust the timing per the spec rules is to do a little mod here to the crankshaft position sensor. I just have to pull this out, we elongate the mounting hole, put it right back in there, check our timing. All right, we'll snake this out of here. You might as well just do the mod to a new sensor and just replace this one anyways. So the idea here is we're gonna file out the bottom side of the mounting hole. That's gonna allow our crank sensor to move up. What you guys are doing is they're taking out about 2.5 millimeters or about 60 thousandths. That'll give us the advance that we're looking for. That should do it. Now we'll just put the new one back up and in here, pull the bolt in it, tighten it down, and go check our timing. Move that up, and we'll just tighten it down. And here we'll go up top. Check the timing.
Ready?
Yeah, you pop the hood. I'll put the timing light on it. You hop in the car, crank it up. Let's see what we're at for timing here. All right, Jimmy, fire this thing up. Check timing quick. Yeah, that's right around 14, so that should be good enough for now. I think the last thing we'll do is we'll throw the air filter in it, then we'll just get it off the hoist. We'll run it down to engine power and see what it makes for power again. All right, ready.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See how many bumblebees this thing picked up.
Bumblebees. I like that actually.
I think it
That's
sounds
pretty good.
That's what I think
fitting.
it sounds like. But
Definitely a different tone.
yeah.
I think he's trying to get it to 7,000.
I think so.
He likes $7 grand.
He's definitely up above. Oh!
It
We
keeps
gained
getting
5
better.
horse.
126.2
No way, dude.
and 123.6 pound-feet.
We are literally celebrating that. Did you see that? How we all went?
Yeah, that's 5 horsepower.
And you went 113 mile an hour.
Well, in a class that competitive, that could make it you winning or you losing.
I think for what we put into it and our 5 horsepower gain, I think that's way worth it.
Solid improvement.
Yeah, for what you guys did, that's easy horsepower. So
Yeah,
Totally.
Sure.
I think that pretty much wraps it up for us though. So if you guys like anything you've seen on the show today, why don't you go to PowerNationTV.com and the 4 of us are gonna unstrap this thing and Jimmy and I are gonna take it out of here. I think you're gonna help, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna take this thing off right here.